Hello, everybody, and welcome. As we like to do every week, we like to take a look at the past week's market activity and then kind of bounce around the market and look for something to trade. Well, we don't have to go much further than the indices this week because if you're following the market, you saw a lot of movement and finally some volatility, as you can see here. The volatility spiked. It's the S&P 500, the ETF SPY, and you can see that's because this thing took a huge dip. If we go here, I can actually, with this little thing, you can look at how much it moved. If you look at this, it says in 5 days it dropped 3%. Doesn't seem like much compared to where we've been, but it's a drop, and you can see obviously people got scared because volatility has spiked. And we can look at the VIX, which is actually the volatility for the market, and you can see obviously this is also on a tear up. We'll see if it stays there, but it's essentially as high as it's been in the whole of this year. So that's the VIX, that's the fear index or the volatility index for the market. This is the SPY, as you can see, that's bounced. Obviously, NASDAQ looks fairly similar. It spiked even higher. And the biggest move was the Russell, and you can see that's kind of at as high as it's been. Now, normally I would trade the Russell in this kind of market because it's the highest volatility, as you can see. It's 81. The Qs are at 62. And the SPY is at 52. But because we traded IWM just a couple weeks ago, we don't want to have all our trades in kind of one stock or one indices, one ETF. So we'll go to the next highest one. And again, these are all kind of at their highest for the year, so it really doesn't matter. Just because it's 62, not 82, doesn't mean it's not a good trade. It's as high as it's been for the entire year, so this is a completely valid trade. So we're going to trade the Qs in this case, which is the NASDAQ. And I'm going to go to the trade page, and I've already taken care of this one. We're actually going to use, the 40-day expiration cycle. Even though this thing will be 60 tomorrow, the reason I'm not using this one, as you can see if I open it up, is because you can see these weird numbers. That's because of the dividend. They changed the strikes. We don't want to get into these weird strikes like these, because it just becomes a little bit harder to get in and out of trades. So in order to stay away from that, I'm just going to stay here at the 40-day ones, and you can see these are all normal strikes. Now the one problem is, for whatever reason, on the put side, these are all about $5 wide. And if I go down to the call side, you can see they're dollar wide strikes, but I don't have an option here. The puts are $5 apart. Even though the calls are $1 apart, this is going to be forced to become a $5 wide iron condor just to keep it balanced. So as these stocks get higher in price, more and more stocks are getting to the point where they're not dollar wide strikes anymore. We see a lot of like $2.50 strikes or $5 wide strikes. Essentially, as prices go up in the market, our strike choices become a little bit more limited on a lot of stocks, and we're forced to make bigger trades. Instead of $1 or $2 wide iron condors, now we're at like $2.50 or $5 wide iron condors. But I've already set this up to save us the trouble. It's real easy in this one, because the stock here is almost exactly 475. So what I'm doing is going $25 up on the call side, $25 down on the put side. Again, creating a $5 wide iron condor now. So what do I need to collect to make this a valid trade? Well, remember, the minimum we need to collect is 33 cents per dollar width. So as long as I collect at least $1.65 or more on this trade, this is a valid trade. And the max we would ever want to collect is 50 cents per dollar wide, which would get us to 250. So this is our range. As long as we're between 165 and 250, this is a valid trade. So at 186, completely fine. So assuming everything stays the same tomorrow and the stock opens at 475, we're going to go $25 up and down, create a $5 wide iron condor this time, and make sure that we're collecting between 165 and 250. In this case, we're right there, not a problem. And that is our trade in the NASDAQ QQQ ETF for tomorrow. Hello everyone. I thought it might be valuable to let you know of all the courses available on Udemy that I teach, and also kind of what they're about and maybe what order to take them in. So I thought this would be a valuable little quick kind of introduction to all the courses out there. Now for those that are in the middle of a bunch of courses, these three are essentially a set. This is a part 1, 2, 3. So no matter where you are in this course selection, this is the order it should go in. It should start with understand options, then to basic option strategies, and then on to make and manage profitable trades. Just so you are aware. Again, you can see it says part 1, 2, and 3, but not everybody sees that when they buy these courses. So this is good for beginners. This is good for people that want to refresh the knowledge they already have. But essentially, like I mentioned, this is the order you want to go in from top to bottom. Understand to basic to make and manage. The complete guide to options here is kind of an overview of a bunch of different topics, but not in depth like the 3 above. So if you want to get a broad introduction to a lot of different kind of option strategy topics, this is a good one to look into. From there, we can go on to the Advanced Iron Condor Option Strategy course. If you already are familiar with Iron Condors and you want to learn 6 different variations of it, this would be a great course for you to take. And for those who have been through the basics, kind of know verticals and Iron Condors and want to get into the advanced kind of option trading arena, I have what I call a secret course collection. These are private courses that you won't find when you search on Udemy. So if you want to find them, you have to type in these addresses right here, and this will give you these courses on the right hand side here, and it'll give you more detail about them. The password to get into these private courses is sharpertrades.com. And again, like I mentioned, these are private courses. So if you search my name on Udemy, you won't see this. This is my secret course collection, and these are all more advanced topics. So if you want to learn more, here's everything you can use to discover more courses on my site. I'm attaching this guide as a link, so you can download this and it'll take you to the courses. There'll be links in the actual document, so you can use that attachment in this little video section to download and click on the links there. It'll take you right to these courses as opposed to having to type these in directly. But if you want to learn more, would love to have you aboard. Thanks for sticking with me and being with me on any one of these journeys. Stick with it. We will get you to where you want to go. Take care.